Okay. Hi, Travis Bagent. We are live for our first official episode of Tell Me I'm the Greatest podcast. And thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure in many, many years. And I hope you're not falling asleep as you're the Bears hat on.
The Bears! The Bears! Yeah, there it is. American Arm Wrestling. This should be your team, at least your second team. The Bears. All right. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, one thing's for sure. I have been asked to do podcasts for the last 15 years. One of the reasons that I have always said no, will not, is fear. Fear of being able to carry the show. You have to have a lot of confidence to carry the podcast daily, every day. So finally, I have set up a situation with Artem, and we will have guests throughout this entire podcast to make sure that we don't get all boring and just start talking about the same stuff. Also, as we go forward, we got to make up the show. Like, we got to tell people what the show is, what's coming tomorrow, the topics, stay on task.
Wow. From first episode, maybe an official just like that.
I don't want to just be a slappy that does one-off podcasts every day.
Man, that's awesome. We starting off strong.
Yeah, well, ever since you added Mountain Dew to our sponsor list, now things have gotten serious.
See? They're right here.
Oh, nice.
Right
nice.
Right there.
Tyson Bagent, I like it. I like it.
So, how was your weekend, Travis?
My weekend, let's talk about my weekend. What did I do? I went to a graduation party on Saturday. I feel like I did something on Friday too that other people bet us. I can't remember, but I feel like I just went to people's house and ate. I did, yeah. So I can't remember Friday. What did I do Friday? I don't know about Friday, but Saturday went to a graduation party. Sunday went to a pool party. Did not eat or cook at my house all weekend.
All right. Are you ready for tomorrow's practice?
I am not only ready for tomorrow's practice, but is it also before practice is Ezra Bagent will be graduating tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
The second child graduating from high school.
All right. And when is the big game? Next year?
Say it again.
When is the big game for
the big day for Ezra?
The big game. Big game day for Ezra.
The game day for Ezra. Ezra's in a tough position because he's going to come in and he's not going to be the starter.
Uh-huh.
He's going to be the second string guy because they have a guy that was there in the spring. A 22-year-old grown man transfer from Virginia Military Institute. So Ezra's going to be in a fight. He thinks that he's going to start. I think he's going to start, but I'm sure the rest of the world imagines that he'll redshirt and not start this year.
I got you. All right. 65 Swedish crown super chat from Russell Tyrone Jones. The Bears.
The Bears, my man. Hey, can we get every single human being that's watching this to put the Bears right in the comments? Right there.
Everybody go crazy. There's at least how many people?
I've spoke to Tyson a couple times, and he is in the fight of his life.
Oh, he's out there. Yeah. How is it?
Oh, man. This man, every day, all day, football, 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 football. That's it. He went in yesterday on Sunday. He's there by himself. carding in, walking me through. He doesn't even know where the lights are for the film room. This man is in a war.
Man.
He's in a war.
Dude, there's more than 50.
Actually, right now is the first practice ever for the 90-man roster for the Chicago Bears. Today is the first. Everybody's going real time, just like they will when practice really starts in August.
Right, and from there on, they move on to 53-man roster, right?
They will start today to shrink that 90-man roster into 69 is really the number. 53 on the active roster, 16 on the practice squad. So really, you definitely want to be one of 69.
We got like 15 comments for the
Bears.
That's pretty awesome.
That's the shit.
Never played a fat. Hey, there was a good question before this. Who would be an easy guy from the East Travis would like to pull for his comeback? I wish I meant kind of to ask you that. Who will be that person?
Most likely, I will pull Morozov left-handed and Levon right-handed at my comeback at East First West. What are y'all talking about? I was just this morning blowing up with this. I got the fat grip on the dumbbell. I'm doing stuff I ain't done in years, trying to get my hand back.
Did you ever got a text from Rob?
Did I get a text from Rob? Is that Vitacell?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to talk to him this weekend. Didn't have an opportunity. However, we're getting right when I get off of this podcast, I'm on him.
All right, cool. Well, I was trying to set it up for you. I told the guy.
I told him, I said, Artem said you got the secret sauce.
I told the guy, I'm like, hey, let's just reach out to this dude because.
And what do we do? What do we like? How do they like to be represented? Do they like the jokes about me acting like stem cell and steroids? I'm
sure he hates you internally. And
okay.
Because
can you prep me? Can you prep me for what their sales pitch is?
Well, so Rob's most sales pitch is that there's levels to stem cells, right? Because you can go to Mexico and get some stem cells. Well, I make the same jokes to him, like, all right, that I made like some poor, like not very important babies, right? She's like, no. They just made in a different way where, let's say if comparing to cars, there's some Toyotas, right? Versus his stem cells, the way they manufactured and all that, they're like Lamborghinis and stuff, right? So he's actually putting you through like very nice, expensive product and stuff. So that's his sales pitch one.
I gotta imagine his sales pitch also is that if you go away to get surgery, the myth is in the United States that the United States motto is for you to either have a lot of money or have great health care that somehow allows that procedure to be covered.
Okay.
Correct? Right? Now, if you are open and doing business in the United States of America, you imagine the overseas procedure, surgery, whatever you want to call it, is dangerous and unsafe and toxic, and there would be no way to get your rights expressed if things went wrong.
Actually, that really cannot be a sales pitch because I don't think your insurance can cover it in America anyway. Like, there's no way because it's not FDA.
Right, but he has to be selling us on the fact that it's legitimate and that he has a license in the United States to perform this procedure. Like, that's what he's banking on, right?
Which he doesn't do any procedure. Vitacell Biologics just provides the products, right? It's the doctors. It's really like they're just kind of subcontractors. Like they just provide the
I got you. Even better, even better, even better. So that means the doctor who has to, he got a lot of rules.
Yeah, doctor.
If he wants to perform anything in the United States,
whole different profit. Yes, yes. And
so who's in Louisiana? Is that where Vitastel is, or is that where the doctors are?
Both. Yeah,
so that's where it gets shady.
That's where that's the headquarters, son. That's the headquarters.
No, I love it. So yeah, so tell me, what do they think they're doing for people? Not anti-aging, right?
What do you mean?
Is stem cell anti-aging or just injury repair?
Ooh, that's you going. I think it's both because technically as you getting older, you're losing your stem cells, right? And that's where you shrink and all that stuff. And getting stem cells back in you, technically, yeah, it does. I suppose, like I'm not an expert, I guess it does rejuvenate yourself. So yeah, I guess.
Well, I got a feeling that right after my phone call today, that we will be having. Has Rob ever been on your podcast?
No.
How come?
He's just an awesome guy to where he's probably like, dude, like I can do it anytime. I guess don't need to. Because he'll get in there right now, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, let's call him up right now, see what he's doing. We can put him on right after last because we got a new segment anyway today. Right, can you explain to what I explained to you, Artem, about our new segment?
Oh, to the people? Okay.
Just explain to the people the opportunities that we have here. Now, listen, I don't know if you know all of it, so let me hear your version of what I explained to you today. And then I will most likely interlude and change everything that you probably say, but let's hear it.
Oh my God. So now I guess from what I understood, now everybody
this is the most important thing in the world. Imagine this right here. Let's just set the platform here. Me and Artem are in business together, right? I explained to Artem a business idea plan 10 minutes ago. Now I'm gonna find out in front of you guys what he heard. What I said. Bam! Let's hear it, Artem.
Now, every single one of you guys who would like to get a spot to sponsor this podcast and get your business out there and send your message out there, get some sales, whatever your business is, whatever you're into, right? If you want us to market your show and you want to come up here and give us your 5 to 10 minutes pitch, we got your offers. Let us know. Send us a message, travisbagent1@gmail.com.
I like it.
What you got?
I like that. I think Artem did a good job. Now, here's the thing. We have been approached. We've been approached to someone that said, why don't we do this? How much would we charge? They could help us. So I immediately, and what I will do to all of you, is I will give you the opportunity to follow through with the things in your, because everyone's got suggestions, right? There's always suggestions. Everybody's like, Travis, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But really, they want me to do everything. Now, if I didn't come up with the idea of being an interviewer, of being a podcaster, how in the world am I supposed to have the confidence to break down segments of the podcast if it took me 15 years just to get on the podcast and start the whole thing and just start telling stories and talking about our method. So my guy, Lance Hunt, who is probably, from what I gather, going to struggle from an electronic standpoint on how to get on the show right now. But the backstory, Waxahachie, Texas. I get a phone call from Waxahachie, Texas. I answer it. Got maybe, you know what, Artem, did you set it up with me and Lance Hunt or no?
No, I don't know Lance. No,
so I don't know how. Oh, it was Gary Roberts.
Okay.
I believe, and I could be wrong, and if Lance could possibly electronically get on the show, he's going to be on here. So at any point during the story, Lance could pop up, right? So this guy, Lance Hutt, is on the phone. He says to me, Travis, I heard you and Gary Roberts talking about the Mary Jane marijuana, that you wanted a sponsor. And I'm like, okay. So Lance Hunt and me proceed to discuss his legal marijuana distribution store in Sacramento, California, that would be willing to brand Beast Bud. Sends me a photo of my kind of cartoon character face on a can of 5 joints. I think I probably showed that to you, Artem, at one point in your life, not sure. But I do have it, so by the next time, and if Lance has it, he can send it, because he's probably going to have trouble getting on the Zoom. They're going to ask him for a code and all that good stuff, because that's why I get it sent to my text and my messenger to make sure one of them makes it easy, the other one's a struggle. But I get a call from Lance Hunt, and he says, hey, I got some hookups in the marijuana. Maybe we could do this Beast Bud and cut you in on this, and this. Right away, I'm at least having the greatest time ever talking about it, right? Lance follows through a couple of times. Also, he's like, listen, I'm trying to get into arm wrestling. Let's do this, or this in Waxahachie. I'll sponsor. So we have this awesome seminar arm wrestling tournament in Waxahachie, Texas. We go to the CrossFit gym. Lance brings in John Berzink and Michael Todd, Corey Miller. I mean, we have a single elimination class, break up the Hellraiser, Michelle Dugan, Michael Todd, John Berzink. The whole thing is on Gary Roberts and Arm TV. Were you even there at the Waxahachie event, Artem?
No.
So it also stemmed the Weirdo Camera Guy, which would take place in same Waxahachie. We just didn't go to the CrossFit gym that time. We went to the convention center. But Lance had became, just a friend, a good dude when it comes to promoting and talking about arm wrestling. Kind of caught the bug right away. Started training with Danny Gillian and all those guys in Texas, and has since then, been to West Virginia, wherever the big promotion the last couple of years, Lance has been in the building. Lance also promotes this company called Recovered and Free. Recovered and Free, you did a video, or Gary did.
I did.
You did in Waxahachie, and you covered Recovered and Free and Lance's story. So Lance hit me up the other day. He's like, listen, man, you guys should sell sponsorships on your show. Bring me on. We'll talk about Recovered and Free. And then, we'll figure out what it costs and all that good stuff. So since Lance has a house in Destin, Florida, I believe it's a perfect time for me to say, Lance, you can sell all the sponsorships you want to the Travis Bagent Unfiltered show. And I don't know how much it costs, but because you're my boy, you come on. Let's pretend that you paid $1,000 for the spot. Let's do the interview about your calls, the situation that you went through, and what you have for the arm wrestling community, because I do believe that every single person listening does not have to go far in their family friend list before there may be a potential problem with drugs and alcohol that Recovered and Free could help, possibly. I do know that it's a longer term rehab than most facilities. So that's something to think about. Also, once we ever get Lance on here, we'll figure out how does a guy, struggling right now, because I do think it's only for guys, which is completely unbelievable and sexist. in this woke community that we're in. Lance will have to explain that. I mean, we already got in trouble for not going over the women's weight class. And I heard some news that maybe Angie Rose lost this weekend.
Oh, no. Oh. Not on the dead. I think we might get Lance in the building. Hold on.
Oh, Lance done woke his daughters up, his wife. Somebody helped him get online. Did Lance make it or what?
Hey, babe. How can I turn this thing on?
Yeah, this thing is weird. I keep not being able to get on here. What we got?
You got me?
Whoa!
Yeah, okay.
He had to go to the truck. He had to go to the truck.
Yeah, they couldn't set it up on the computer for some reason. I don't know what.
I've had the same
Whatever.
trouble. As soon as I heard the code was needed, I knew this was a 15-minute delay at least. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Our first ever guest that is interested in speaking for this calls that he's about, his business, whatever this guest wants to talk about, our show and this platform is set up to do so. I was just telling the story, Lance, of you calling me about the beast bud and the whole marijuana experience is how we started and how we moved on to you being putting on a couple events in Waxahachie, training with Danny Gillian. I hadn't gotten to the part where you had some arm surgery. Now, months later, you're back at it. It looks like training at home, going through the Travis Bagent regimen of lifts. It has appeared that you have lost about 25 pounds.
No, more than that.
So first of all, is everything okay in life right now?
Yeah.
All right,
Wonderful.
I'm just checking because whenever we see a guy loses 25 pounds and we're like, okay, could be trouble there. I mean, you know, you see me.
I went from to over 250. I'm 215 now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
215 pounds. So Lance.
You were telling me about doing those plate holds, and it don't matter what I'm gonna say, you're gonna make fun of me anyway. But I started with I worked my way up. I can do I was telling you this morning, I can do the 25 plate, the easy now. I wish I had a 35. I need to move up.
Definitely, yeah. You got to definitely make some moves, or at least tape a couple 2.5s on the end of that 25.
I guess I could do that,
especially on the bad end. Yeah, and that'll be tough for you. All right, Lance. So talk to us. So you've been watching the show, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
You've been watching the show. After the show the other day, you hit me with man, you guys should bring people on and sell sponsorships and do stuff for the show. So right away, we just get started. And the more organic that we choose to build this thing, the less stress that we have, me and Artem, right? Every day, Artem checks in or I check in, and we got a 50-50 chance of one another saying, nah, I'm good, right? I don't feel like doing nothing, especially I've got a window. And that window is around 8:30 a.m. until about 11 a.m. After that, tough. My energy level is not there when it comes to the podcast. So you tell me that we should do this stuff. You ask me how much we should charge. So here's my recommendation. Lance, you come on, you gather the experience from us, and then we'll go from there from a business standpoint. So if you were just a sponsor, what we'd like to do is give you a platform here. We've got millions of people watching, as you could probably gather. I mean, Artem's phone and I think we've already did like $3,000 in super chats already. So us giving you this precious time is not easy for us. But Lance, that's what we do for our boys, Lance.
I get it.
That's what we do for our boys.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
Talk to us
it.
about talk to us about Recovered and Free, what part it's ever had in your life, and what do you think it could do for, all we need is for one of our viewers to know there's an option.
And actually, that video that Artem initially made we did get one guy out of that, and I'm not sure how he's currently doing, but I know that he did go through the program. He did the whole 90 days, and I talked to him in there several times because I still go down there from time to time, and so I got to meet him. For some reason, I always thought that they knew one another, but they didn't. But he did get to Recovered and Free through that video that Artem did. So that was pretty cool.
We know two things, Lance. We know two things. We got to follow one of these routes. We must locate this gentleman. If he is struggling, then we make sure we do not bring him on the show. But if this guy now
is killing it,
man, then we need to make this the poster child here. So let's do this on the low.
No, I've been talking about just.
Whoa! Don't give this guy's information out.
I've been talking about some random guy for the video. I will talk about the guy that I sent you.
The guy you sent.
Oh yeah. He's good. He's good.
Whoa!
Still good.
Okay. Good. So Artem, can we get that guy right now? Can you send that guy a message? See if we can get him to pop on the show or what?
Well, hold on. That guy's good. I thought we were talking about you, Travis. But all right, yeah. I'll see if I can talk about it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Let's get this guy on here. This guy's Lance's lifesaver here. Lance is either 1 for 1 or 0 for 1. You're either batting 1,000 or 0 here. So go ahead, Lance. Keep rocking on.
I don't know. I think it's important to say, because it's the reality of the disease of addiction. But like when I first met Travis, I was coming up on 2 years of sobriety. And then I think it was almost 3. And then I had the hiccup. I bumped my head. And unfortunately, Travis had to see some of that. And that was just a crazy time. So he got to kind of see me on both sides of the spectrum, if you will. And that, the time you came, you were talking about comic relief. That could be kind of funny to talk about.
Oh man, listen, if I thought that none of your people would ever watch this
show, that's the reality. I mean,
go crazy on that.
You might as well. I mean, because you make it funny.
Here's the best thing, Lance. Let me tell you the best thing about that story. That was not a significant moment in my life. I will let you know that I have seen the craziest of crazy. So that right there, now looking back, that no one got hurt, just a crazy ass experience between two dudes. I'd love to keep that in my memory. And every time I see you, no matter where we are, no matter how sophisticated the situation is, we will both know that two crazy dudes had that experience right there that I'll never forget. But yeah, just know that I think a lot of our viewers too. I mean, I don't want to speculate on everyone, but I believe that the biggest part of talking about anything when it comes to personal and addiction and any sort of rehab, any of that, you would be surprised at how every single person has the story super close to them. I mean, super close. So as, I do. It's not that that's ingrained in my life, but the more I think about that, between me and you, a very funny story, no doubt. So go ahead. Now talk to us about Recovered and Free. I was trying to tell Artem the program's a little longer than normal. So tell us why. I also explained to us in this woke community how you can get away with only letting guys in. What about trannies? Are trannies allowed in? What if a
Man,
girl identifies as a guy? Can she get it?
it's gender specific. Let's just say that it's for males. If you have that plumbing downstairs, then that's what we're looking. That gender specific.
Well, don't get all political on us. That's not what this show's all about, right, Artem?
I know.
I mean, Artem.
So Don,
Artem paints his
I
fingernails, so we're still.
Yeah.
We haven't even discussed that when it comes to the
Yeah.
future of this podcast.
Next episode.
Next episode. I paint my toenails when I go to the beach because they're all messed up.
Hey, my God.
Anyway, yeah, I'll tell y'all about recovery. So Don Radin, which is the owner of that, so it's a smaller place, and what you'll find in the rehab world, if you will, is that all of the places that accept insurance, they typically make the place very comfortable. Like the amenities are very, very nice. And, you'll have like maid service and chefs, and it's a staycation for 30 days at most of those facilities that do accept insurance. And, there's no help in there. There's no real help. And a place like Recovering Free, we don't accept insurance, and there's a reason for that. All of those places that accept insurance, long story short, is they are basically dictated and controlled by the insurance companies. The insurance companies will say, yeah, we'll cover your the people that come through there, but you've got to offer all these classes. And essentially the classes they want you to offer are no help. Then I could go into that, but it's irrelevant. They're just really no help. It's a Recovering Free. Don is started a lot of programs at different places, like Origins is one of them, and that's a place that Dr. Phil sends people. And the way I like to describe that is, as as it became bigger, they started accepting the insurance or whatever, and it kind of got not, I wouldn't use the term dumbed down, but it got sugar coated more and more and more. And he just eventually branched, just decided to open up. I'm making a long story short here, but he basically decided to open his own place, but that's bigger and harder than one would think. And when that way he can run it the way it needs to be run by someone that has tons of experiences. He is definitely one of us. When I say one of us, he's an addict, alcoholic as well. And by all his failures, he has enough experience through it's a 12-step program, but the way he and he didn't change anything out of it. It's just the way he breaks it down and simplifies it. It relates to more people. And he can show you a lot of tough love, like he sure did to me. I went in there and used the term "I know" a couple too many times. He pulled me aside and told me, he said, "Look, man, you keep saying you know, and obviously you're 42 years old and you're in rehab. It doesn't appear you know much. So why don't you shut up and take some suggestions?" And that's kind of and that's making it lightly. That's kind of the tough love I'm talking about. But there's no amenities
Lance, let's just say, what percentage of people that, I mean, for me, the rehab happens at rock bottom. Is that not correct?
Just when the person's hurt enough, got enough pain to where, like, if they're being coached in there by the family or the wife, or they're trying to do it for any reason other than they're tired of sick and suffering.
So what percentage of rehab people would most likely have to rely on the insurance in order to get any help? That has to be a high percentage, right?
It's difficult. That's why we stay, unfortunately, we only probably got 6 to 10 guys on average in there because of that reason. And that's something else I was going to mention on the show. And I know I only have 5 or 10 minutes. I know we've already went way over, and I appreciate that. But we started a nonprofit. It's called Access to Freedom, so that we have people donating. So now we can scholarship guys to go that don't have the funds. And so really, I've done a poor job at it. I need to really get on the ball of reaching. I don't really even know. We're kind of winging that side of it. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how to reach out to the people that have money to donate to us, because now we can scholar. And we already have been able to scholarship several guys to get in there and basically save their life. It's a life or death thing, and I know you know that. You've seen that, how dangerous and quick it can go bad, just from what you've seen in me even. But yeah, it's hard. And the thing is, Don, he's got a huge heart, and a lot of times, I mean, it's very, we don't have, obviously recovering free, we don't have the amenities I was talking about earlier. You know, we're eating ham sandwiches and, cereal. That place is open to save people's lives. We're not, there's no TV, cell phone. It's clean in there because we clean it ourselves every day. That's part of the program as well. We wake up and clean, and it's really structured awesomely, to some of those guys that's never had to do anything their whole life. But anyways, I mean, he scholarships a lot of before Access to Freedom,
And it
the
sounds to
nonprofit
me like,
started.
answer me this, Lance. How many, like a lot of times, there probably is a person in your life that would like to help you. Whether it's a family member or not, but they're skeptical about the 28-day staycation.
It's 90 days.
So the truth is that what Don is offering to a loved one, a family member, is a real chance, not just wasting your money.
That is a fact.
Because there are a lot of situations, I feel, that do get paid for once, maybe even twice, by the family member that has the money.
Yes.
But they're not interested in the bougie place, at the fancy hotel resort, like where there's facials and massages available. So what I believe that you're also offering is maybe that opportunity that you feel as the financier, that is a real program that will knock some reality into your loved one, when it comes to, a little more of a sacrifice on their part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 15,000 just to throw that out for 90 days. And most every time we can work with families on that, because we understand that most people don't have that laying around. We get that, but yeah, it's a 90-day program, and most all of us only want to do 30 days when we're coming in sick like that. But I mean, even 90 days is considered short term, really. Really 6 months would even be better. Even though separation has nothing to truly do with keeping someone sober, but it does help as far as getting a person to come back online fully, because your brain heals slow. It takes some time. Physically you'll feel pretty good in a couple of weeks, and that's what happens. You're in there, I only need 30 days. I feel great. I'm fine. I can go. No, they're a long ways from, but it all goes back to that surrender thing. They just need to take some suggestions and sit down a minute and trust the process and finish the program. But he even lines up after care and stuff for those guys for sober living, and he's got a lot of connections. I mean, that's this guy does. He does. That's all he does. Just like his whole life revolves around helping these dudes. And I mean, just since I've been, and this is the reality of it too. Just since I've been involved in around recovering free, we're I'm coming up on 10, almost 10 guys now that's died. That's relapsed. And that's hard. You get to know them guys good. I mean, just like I don't want to sound all doom and gloom this morning on the podcast,
Yeah, I was
especially
thinking this show fucking sucks. I was just thinking that.
But I mean, that's the truth of it. And so if you do have that family member, it is that real. I mean,
because that's what everyone's
just
thinking about. That's what everyone's thinking about right now. If you are listening to your voice, you are thinking about the person that you know that probably could utilize this program. And you're also thinking about the dude that you used to know that definitely needed the fucking program that it probably ain't with us no more. So ain't no doubt about it. All right, Lance, well, I hate to cut you short, but we definitely got to get off here. But the good thing is that we are going to include Recovered and Free every single week. So you will be our poster child for perfecting the 5-10 minute little platform for our viewers. So we love you. Thank you for coming on. And Artem, any last suggestions there for Lance?
Lance, where can people find you if somebody needs to reach out to you?
Oh, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Why don't we pay Artem all this money, Lance?
It's Recovered and Free. The name recoveredandfree.com, and that's the best thing, or you can reach out to me. I'll give you my information as well. My name's Lance Hunt, and it's not I'll throw my number out there even, because it's 972.
Right when you get off here, you just put your little email right there in the in the comments. That way you don't go crazy and put your phone number out here, because listen, millions of people are watching this podcast. Ever since Tyson is now with the Bears, everybody's watching. So
all right, I'll do that. Thanks,
mind.
Guys.
All right,
Appreciate
my man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, yes, sir. The Bears.
Dude, that was serious right there, boy.
This is what
I mean, dude. You know what?
Hold on. Lance is still here, by the way. So
yeah, that's okay.
He's still here.
That was real right there, boy. Like that segment right there, you could go on for a long time as to what exactly your experiences are when it comes to rehab in the 30 days and the insurance. I mean, talk about bringing some light to a situation that everybody that knows something about but really knows nothing about. That's the crazy part too.
Yeah, unless you know this person who has been a recovered person, then you kind of aware with 12 steps and whatever, and with all the variations of programs and how it not always goes down that well, then you kind of know, unless you know somebody in your life.
And if you know someone, you usually, a wide variety had to go to multiple of those 30-day programs, which makes me feel like the 90-day, like if I'm spending money for my brother to go to rehab, the last thing I want him to get is a massage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I understand, like you send your wife, you send your mom, you might be looking into that, but at some point during the spiral of getting to that point where someone else is paying for it, they kind of want a little boot campish tough love, I would imagine. I know that kind of that kind of makes me, I'm definitely, listen, I'm Democrat, Republican. I'm an issue guy, right? So I understand. I have a lot of sympathy when I don't know the people. But as soon as I have some inside information of this guy being a lazy motherfucker, now I'm harsh.
Right.
And I'm like, send a motherfucker to boot camp.
Let's do
it. Make him sleep in a tent. Boom. Yeah. Let's do this shit. It's so funny as to where you are. Like,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You just have to get everything with common sense, right? Like that's all it is.
yeah,
If
straight
they-
across the
yeah,
line. How does it benefit and help my life?
yeah.
What examples can I put in the contents that I'm living? Like, inflation is killing us.
Oh man, this poll. Oh,
Whoever's in charge of how expensive food is fucking us up right now as a parent of 4 kids. I'm telling you.
Hey, that's why one time you told me this. You look up at me, Artem, 4 kids. Don't ever do this to yourself.
Never. Don't do it. I mean, you and Lindsay can go get 1 pack of oodles or noodles and survive.
Dude, how expensive McDonald's right now?
Oh man, it doesn't matter, man. $31 for this, $44 for that. I think it's $200 to go to not Applebee's, but like Glory Days, like one of those upper chains that doesn't have the 2 for $20.
Well, what's glory? We don't have glory dates. What's
The Outback is
Outback? Gotcha.
$172
Okay.
now.
Cool.
Great, the Mexican restaurant, $92 before tip. Woo!
Man,
I mean, you need to get out of there with, $57.
yeah, gotcha.
Nuts.
Yeah.
All right, so what we got? We got
the problem
more
here.
guests, right?
We're working on that. I'm working on the person. Yeah, the problem down here is that shit is expensive and the service in my area is bad too. So not only you're gonna go spend the money, now you pissed that you spend the money too. So that's the problem.
But you done turned into a diva motherfucker that cares about the service.
Yeah, but
I'll go back there and cook it if you keep the price down.
I'll do that too, but yeah, that's as long as you tell me that up front, like, hey, you have to do it yourself if you want it to be not fucked up. I'm like, all right, perfect. Because the only thing at 5 o'clock I want is the chicken little from KFC, and God forbid there's no pickle in it or fucking mayo, or you forget the buffalo sauce. I'm gonna go back and put it on myself. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we have.
I did have a terrible not service, but the Bob Evans has taken a little shot down food.
So what was the problem?
Yes, they brought out this little hash brown with cheese on it, but it was like the size of if you folded up a dollar bill.
Dude, I'll have to show you this IHOP you once went to. I don't know. Every time I showed this picture to somebody, tell the story, it's a good stand-up story when you get to see the picture. It will be too long to do right now, but for the next time, I'll find it. It's the picture of what I ordered from what I got. Oh,
yeah, and I do not complain ever.
No.
You will never. I don't give a fuck what they send out. Now, I may have some facial expressions to make you ask me if everything's all right, and I might start laughing, but I will not send food back or any of that stuff. It's just remarkable to me that the guy in the back put it on the plate. And then when the chick grabbed it, she didn't say, man, I'm not taking that out there. Are you crazy?
You just get pissed off that there at this point there's nothing you can do, and it's like, oh man, yeah.
So bad. And then you get the waiter that just wants to apologize the whole time.
That's if you're lucky. The worst one, like I'm good. I'm just like you. The worst one, when you with somebody on a lunch that's not like that, and they keep saying the shit back.
Oh yeah. I can't even fuck with that person.
I have to be like, yo, I'm gonna go sit at another table. That's too fair. I understand. Hey, I'm eating the same shit food right now, and now that the fact that I'm eating it makes me question it. And before that, I was not questioning it. I was enjoying my meal. Can you complain somebody else? Like we're not even.
And don't draw any attention to this table and especially when she ain't even gave us our bread yet.
Yeah, and it's like
crazy.
Hey, our total is going to be $34. Like that's what we're getting. We're getting 34 service. Like, like, come on. We got $4.99 super chat from Mike's Madness. Artem versus the Beast, 2023 in Fort Worth. Stockyards, let's go.
Ooh, I want to go back to the stockyards. What a fun place.
Ooh, so I made a poll. Artem versus Travis. Does it make sense? Because there's so many people said that, like, Artem is a perfect person for Travis to come back.
Ah!
67% of people said yes. 33% of people said no. That's out of 85 votes. So
Everybody thinks I'll kill you.
oh no. It's the opposite. So 67% of people saying it's a match.
Whoa! My goodness, the depths that I have faltered. I've gone downhill. My goodness.
So hold on. Yeah. Oh man, you don't want me to go read down all those comments about how people saying this should be pretty good.
Did anybody say the Bears?
Oh, 15 people. 15 people.
The Bears.
For example, $5 super chat from Shane Owens Arm Wrestling. Shout out to Hunter Knobs for becoming number one in 154. Even Chance doesn't want to admit it yet. The Bears.
Wow, who does Chance have there?
Oh, let's see. But that's something you called me about yesterday, right? You called me.
Yeah, I thought that the round robin happened, but you informed me that there's multiple round robins.
Yeah, you're talking about, you were expecting the October one happened yesterday, but what happened yesterday was 154.
Now, is it the same organization, same everything that did it?
Well, yeah, it's Larray putting them on, so yes.
Well, that's good. At least it'll be the same format. We kind of get an idea of what we're seeing.
So they still have Kevin Palco in there as number one guy.
Okay. That's the California kid, right?
No, you keep saying that. He's from Ohio.
Yeah, what the fuck? Who is the California guy that beat Alan Fisher? I thought somebody out there beat Alan. It doesn't matter. All right, so Kevin Palco. So Kevin was not at the event?
He was. He took 7th place or something. Your face.
What? So what? The weird thing that I told you happened, that Kevin pulled the number 2 guy for an hour in the first round and then they both got knocked out?
No, I'm pretty sure he was getting ripped open pretty fairly.
All right, well then, Chance, I mean, what's the Chance? Can we get Chance on here real quick? Send Chance a text. Ask him to please.
Well, you know
what are we talking about?
Me and you have a history of doing that during the live show. So, yeah, let's do that.
It just hasn't been updated yet, right? That's all.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I don't know. Usually when I beat somebody, that shit gets updated within the
Well,
hour.
yeah,
I don't even have to send a message.
Florida.
I don't even send the message.
Yeah, everybody.
Shane Owens, just to let you know, your $5 super chat is not getting, unsolved.
That's what I was gonna start. I'm gonna start $100 super chatting people unsolved.
So Chance is not answering. So sorry guys, maybe it's being
that's the deal. Tell Hunter that as soon as Chance gets back to the computer, he'll make that quick change.
Yeah, so where's Hunter currently right now?
It don't matter. I mean, it don't surprise me, man. I'm telling you, man, that I would say that Chad Silvers and that camp that's the number one place where you can not only go, but also learn how to navigate yourself through the Southeast and the ranking system in order to become legitimate. It's a great location. You've seen it with Chad Silvers, seen it with Todd Hutchings, seen it with Matt Harris, seen it now with Adam Warzinski, and soon we'll see it with Hunter Knowles.
Hunter is number 6 right now. So yeah.
Right. But not now, right? Now he's number 1.
Yeah, because I think I don't know if him and Roman repulled, because Roman is number 2 guy, and I think he lost to him on fouls.
Was Roman at the?
Roman was there too. Roman took 2nd place.
Well, they said Hunter didn't even get put off center.
With him and Roman, it was in the match, yeah, before they got fouls. Yeah, it was not like Roman was destroying him or anything. So yeah.
I mean, I'm saying, what are you saying? That the no fouls called? Who
No,
wins?
no. I can go for Hunter. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that makes Hunter, listen to my voice, number one. It don't even matter. Like, even if you lose on foul, you still lost. So yeah, that's easy.
oh my! I like so I love this from Adam. That one guy. Kevin was at Arm Wars week before. Kevin Palco. Pulling once in round robin doesn't change the ranking. Palco smokes all of them in a super match.
What? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I want a friend like this. I want him
it's
to be
not
my
a
friend.
super match. It's not. Listen, the rankings have to move when there's action in the rankings, my man. It does not matter. Like, if you signed up for that round robin, you signed up to whether you got fouled, whether you had a birthday the day before. No one cares. Yeah. The only way for our ecosystem to survive is for when you arm wrestle each other, it changes.
Right, well, also
Now, here's the story.
right.
If someone asks Kevin, how come he's not ranked number one? That's when he tells that story. You don't tell the story you don't tell the story to defend your number one status. You are no longer number one. The only way to defend that you should be is by telling the story of Arm Wars and one-on-one matches. Like,
Well,
what the fuck are we talking about?
that's just terrible. Like, as far like as I want you guys to be my friend, that's also a terrible friend to have. Yeah, like saying all the
Yeah, Kevin
like,
just called that dude and be like, yo, easy, bro.
exactly.
Don't fucking
Well,
say
that's
dumb
that's
shit.
if Kevin realizes that, right? There's some people be like, "Yo, man, you're so right. Thank you for you being a friend," and that's a terrible position to be in.
Well, you can be right, right? Like, Kevin can be right. He can feel in his heart, and his buddy can feel in his heart that he can beat any one of those guys in a super match. But what also you must believe in your heart is that he is number one right now in the rankings. That's all. He's number one.
Right.
We would have to dive in to the details of the 154 class in order for you to tell your story, my man. That's all.
Yeah, the story was so, but the moral of the story is like, and Will would like to help Adam, that one guy, with the thing that what you said. Once your elbows on the pad on that Saturday, it kind of didn't really matter like what happened week before, day before.
Yeah, the rankings will change depending on the outcome.
Yeah, if you don't feel good, you don't come.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't if it's really important to you.
Yeah. My story is that I beat you and I'm the number one. Your story is about you going to Arm Wars. Your story is about the format. It ain't mine. You know what I mean? And the reality of the ranking system is rarely. I mean, let's think about this. We're running this system with a bunch of hypotheticals all the time. Once there's some real data, we are using it.
Shane Owens with another $5 super chat. Roman won first time on fouls as Hunter was pinning. Hunter pinned Roman in the tiebreaker pull-off. So that's even better. Be good.
That's all listen, you had me at he won on fouls.
Paul Italia's cigar, $2 super chat. We need that Arden money to survive, Travis.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, so I was discussing this one important person in arm wrestling that how can we get Travis back? Like what he's like, and like, well, there's no way anybody can pay him that the money that will make Travis be back. I'm like, fuck, you're right. So it have to be Travis, Bagent, and Filter.
Well, I don't necessarily don't be making agreements like that with people. There is a price.
There's a price, but like
you're damn right there's a price.
But the price so high where it's like there's not.
Why? Who said it was so high? Let's go. Serious. Hey, if you have over a $10,000 bid Let's start hearing it. Let's hear your game plan. I think that the path for me is to secure sponsorship in order to run a league dependent on the National Football League schedule so that I can travel to all the spots as Tyson's popularity grows, so does the local event, right? Definitely downtown Chicago, right? We're talking 7 times a year, 8 times a year within a 4-month, 5-month process that we're there in Chicago in the local bar crawl that is the Chicago Bears action. We bring in guys from different states with their Denver Broncos jerseys and their Florida Gator, not Florida Gator, but Jacksonville Jaguar jersey. And we run super matches that I'm involved in. Right?
Sure.
And then we film the content.
Can you tell me how it ties it off to your personal comeback?
I said that the super matches are against me.
Aha, okay, got you.
Right, so week 1, Green Bay, we bring in a Packers fan, whoever he is in the arm wrestling world, even if he's a fake Packers fan.
All of a sudden, that's Pablo. All of a sudden, Pablo is the biggest Packers fan out there.
Whatever it is, right? The very next week, we're in San Francisco, so we have our tournament in San Francisco against Tom Nelson. Right, and Tom Nelson will wear the Bears. He's a Bears fan. He'll wear Tyson's jersey, and I'll wear the San Francisco Joey Fisher jersey, our guy. So whatever the deal is, I think that that's the game changer for the channel, for me personally, and for the sponsor. We run a tournament, but always the super match every week for 18 weeks is Travis Bagent Arm Wrestling. Come on.
This guy saying Arden versus Travis on this channel next week, and subs will go through the roof. Talk him into this, Arden. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Lucky
for Travis, my schedule's a little too busy.
My arm is, I've already gained 4 pounds. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, I can't. You start training and practicing.
I'm blowing up.
So I have my windows getting shorter. 7 days. The guy is right. Next week. That's all we got. That's awesome. The June 3rd event from Paul Italia Cigar, $2 super chat. The June 3rd event. Where can we find the stream? The stream will be on this channel, and we will set it up to the stream and the pay-per-view. So it's all going to be ready.
Yeah.
It's going to be ready before that. So just check it out. Don't go nowhere. And if you're going to restream it to any other channels, we'll advertise it over here. Check out the community tab. Plus, Travis, since I filled you up on what we're doing with Spotify, can you explain to these people what's happening?
I have no idea what is going on.
Since I did not feel
Facebook is where the money's at, not Spotify.
Yeah, we're taking off all the monies. Whenever it says you can get the monies, I'm going there. Facebook, TikTok.
I got an email today that said Google alert your payment for somebody was supposed to do something. Let me know if you got it or something.
Oh, well, we have to message Mark. Oh, yeah, it is 22nd. Yeah. We need to get, speaking of, so actually 2 things to be said. We've been uploading stuff to Spotify, so guys, check it out. The link is in the description. We can get some viewers. You're in the car ride, turn it on, let it play. We need those clicks and the listens. And
I mean, what could you possibly? We need to start like introducing a new technique or a tip of the day. Like, what information could a person gather? Dude, how could their life become better by listening to us?
Well, 2 things. So speaking of that, and speaking of segments earlier, we now have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 official employee of Travis Bagent Unfiltered. By the
4?
Yeah, because it will be me, you, Mark.
Hold on. When you say employees, does that give the interpretation that somebody gets paid?
You've gotten paid, son. You've
Oh!
gotten paid. You go back to the very first day. Hey, I've seen the payout. I've seen the payout. So yes, we at first we had three, now it's four of us because we now
The
have
Bears.
the gentleman by the name of Ryan Rush who've been doing our clips lately for our YouTube. So now we got help with that. So now we're gonna get a lot more clips on our YouTube channel.
What's the guy's name?
Ryan Rush.
Where's he from?
By the name of it, I'm assuming from somewhere in Middle East.
Nice. Well, we want to meet this guy. We want to get this guy over here.
But I'm probably super racist, and he probably is out of California. However, the guy been an amazing help, and I beg everybody at the end of every podcast. I always beg people, hey, if you want to help this thing grow and make clips, do something. Make me titles. Just reach out. And for the whole year so far, Ryan been the first person to reach out and to get paid. So they didn't know that it's paying gigs. So so far it's been. If you want to get paid, guys, be on it. So yeah, Ryan will be one of those persons.
I have a 2:00 meeting.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get with the VitaCell people immediately after this. But you still got to help me with the VitaCell. What are these guys? What are they selling? Rejuvenation or rehab?
Hey, Rob's saying he doesn't want to get on it. He'd rather get, because he's just the guy behind the scenes. He wants to get a doctor who will explain it a lot better than he is.
Oh my God, what is going on? Everybody's diverting. Just diverting. I love it. I'm really excited now. I want to know, like, when I pick up this dumbbell with my right wrist, I feel like I got like a bunch of like creaking in there, like arthritis, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you ever have it? You don't have any of that, right?
Not yet.
That's what I'm saying. This is crazy, right? For me to feel this shit, right? So I'm wondering, does this stuff help with arthritis? And
dude, I have people like Adam Silver told me he got hooked up with Adam, and that thing's supposed to take a couple of months for you to really to kick in, right? But everybody's saying whatever the shit you cannot do, you can do it like the very next day. Like if you cannot sleep on your back because of the pain or whatever, all of a sudden,
like the dent that I have in my pec, is that gonna
it's gonna get filled in, son.
What?
Hey, I don't know if you can see it, but we finally have Doug Ehrlich in the house. What's going
up?
on, Doug?
There he is. There he is.
Doc, tell us how it's going on your side.
I just got a long walk, so we were screwed up on the Central and Eastern time, man. I was thinking my time.
Yeah, I forgot you're from different parts of Florida and you're in different time zones, like a weirdo.
Wow, that's amazing. So Dustin's an hour behind.
Yeah, man, it's better. I like this time, man. All the games, like Monday night games, Sunday night games, everything's an hour early. I can actually finish watching them without passing out on the couch.
Yeah, it's trippy. That's trippy.
That's interesting. Yeah, but it is. Yeah.
Well, we just had Lance Hunt, who owns a spot in Destin, on the show to go over. He wanted to. He's got this recovered and free kind of like mission that he's on to help all the young men like himself that have any troubles with addiction. And he owns a place in Destin. So not that I have alternative motives, but don't be surprised if I'm in Destin this summer at some point.
Pop up. Let's do something.
Yeah.
So
tell us, how's training going? Well, you know, we all saw you fucking had a date with Hercules and didn't work out. So yeah. Where does Doug Ehrlich go from here?
I've got to get stronger, right? So, I mean, I'm 4 months back from a 4-year layoff, and my first match was kind of a layup. And then, maybe that had me thinking
You
I
know
was
what's
ready.
crazy, Doug? Not to stop you there, but it's yet we it may not have been a layup. That's where time will tell, because we're about to find out whether Coach Ray can do anything with Ingen. And if you just go about it with what you just said, the first match was a layup. Ingen could help confirm that, or at least that perception. But one thing that I know about arm wrestling is it never goes exactly the way you plan. So let's say Coach Ray looks impressive against Ingen, then that's a whole game changer. Two things happen then. You have more respect for Daniel, right? And then there's less disrespect on the Doug Ehrlich name. So I don't know how you feel about that, but if I'm you, I am Coach Ray's #1 fan going into this King of the Table.
Kind of, because let's say, so my plan coming back into this was to take a few steps before I pulled someone like Daniel. But when you get offered that match, you take it. So I wasn't turning it down. The plan was Ray, then the next guy, maybe 6-8 months, a guy like Daniel. But when you get offered that match, you don't turn it down. Let's say Ingen's doing his little comeback, right? So if Ingen wins, he's not going to springboard himself into a match with DeVete or Daniel or, Nordelet or one of those guys. He's going to probably take the next step. Well, I beat Ray. Maybe I'm the next step. Maybe me and Ingen after Ray. I am clearly the next step after Ray if he wins. So that's not me challenging Ingen. I'm just saying if he's planning on taking a slow trajectory back to the top, then maybe I'm in the path. I don't know. I just, I know I want to go back, so I'm not going to stop training, because the biggest mistake I could make is taking an ass whooping like I took and then come back and sit on my hands for a while, get offered a match and train for another 8 weeks and try and jump into a match with one of those guys. There's a lot I could say. I ain't gonna make any excuses. There's a lot that I could have done differently.
What is Doug Ehrlich's ideal weight?
I mean,
when you
I'm
think
always,
you're the very best, if this the United States Olympic team and we are gathering all of our guys, which weight class are you attempting to participate in? And even if it's not a weight class, we can make it a weight class. So what's the number?
80 kg. I can make 80 easy. I could make that tomorrow. And
that's 176 pounds?
Yeah.
So Artem, 176 pounds. Who is the top 5 176 pounders in the United States?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I think
right-handed at 176, we gotta go. Craig Touye.
Craig ain't 176.
Oh, definitely. If we're bringing
Craig,
if we're creating the United States Olympic team, Craig's at 176.
Maybe maybe Brandon Elsesser can't make 176. He almost died making 194.
This is awesome. All right,
he just made one. I thought that was the class, or was that 87?
No, it was 88 kg. He weighed 88, 87, 88. He made 194. 194.
Hold on. Let me put Travis in a better window perspective. Top 5 right-handed right now. Jeff Hale.
Whoa, don't say right now with the bullshit Chance Shaw rankings.
No. Well, hey, Jeff Hale, Luke Kint, Dustin Hyatt.
Nah, that's the 165ers. Tell me what you got. What are the top 187 guys on Chance?
How about 198? There's not 187.
There is no 87s ranked, so it goes from 176 all the way to 198.
We can go to Arm Fighter. They probably have.
No. Just give me the 198 guys. They're the guys, but there's probably a couple of them that can't make it. All right. Just tell me the 198 guys.
Brandon Elsesser, Craig Touye, Dan Moser.
Okay, stop. Craig Touye is definitely one of them. Go lower than Daniel. Keep going.
Adam Wrzynski.
No, keep going.
Grant Rakers.
Keep going.
Eduardo Chieti.
Man, I think Eduardo's a prime candidate for the 176 if the money was right.
Dallas Langston.
Nah, he's too big.
Chad Silvers.
Too big.
Paul Talbot.
100% in there.
Robert Russell.
Robert Russell in there with Justin Bishop. And then the guys that are really 176, I think they're too small. Like Luke Kent and Jeff Hale and them are too small. It would have to be those guys coming down.
My name was next on the list. Thank you for not letting me finish.
Yeah, I don't think that you can make it anymore either. I think it's going to be hard for you.
176 for the money. I'm 180. I'm 181 without the juice. I'm good to go.
Okay, 176 then. So Artem. So that's our guys then. So Doug, it's you, it's Craig, it's Justin Bishop, it's Robbie Russell, it's Paul Talbot, and Artem. Are there anybody in there and Edward, and that Tatis guy would say? Those are the 7 guys. Did I miss anybody in your opinion?
I think some of them guys cannot make 176.
Right, and you're saying Craig, Justin
can, Robbie can't, Craig can't. I mean, Craig could. He's got the discipline, but I mean, he's already so damn lean at his.
Yeah, but I think that his discipline is what keeps him at 190. I think that it's like a crazy amount of attempting to be that. Now I could be wrong. I'm just saying I'm trying to build the strongest team that we could possibly take over there. And I believe I was telling Artem this. If you're under 220 pounds, what's best for you is to diet 15 pounds in order. Now you tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how good you have to be to perform successfully 3 times back in Istanbul. Boom, boom, boom.
It's you got to be, first of all, getting on that stage in general. It's anybody who steps up there. It is the best of the best, you know. And I've got trolls saying, "Oh, Doug got humbled. Doug got this. Doug got that." Man, I talk a lot of shit leading up to these matches because that's what England wants, and that's what it requires, honestly, to gain interest. I don't give a fuck about all that. All I care about is I know I got to get stronger, and I'm beating everybody over here at 176. And anybody watching, if you want to match 2K minimum, I'll take anybody at 176 in the United States that wants to run their mouth. So I've already called a couple of the guys out that are on that ranking that Artem named, especially
I feel
one.
like the 176 guys are too small. They're too small for you.
I weigh 180 pounds. Man, I weigh 182.
I'm not saying realistic. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking about when you walk up to the table, it seems to me like the guy that is your real threat is pulling in the 187s and the 98s.
Yeah.
But he's lighter than that if it all comes down
that's
to
Craig. And Craig's our number 1 at 85 kg. Okay. In my opinion, he's number 1 at 85.
You're saying that even though he lost to Brandon, he's better than Brandon at 187.
I believe if him and Brandon pull again, he wins.
I got you. And now let me tell you something about arm wrestling. That's why the rankings mean nothing, right? Because we all know that week to week, you're like, damn, when the guy puts it together, he's going to win, even though that match was just a few months ago, right?
Yep.
Like, there's no way to tell Brandon Alcelsor that he's not better than Craig Tuya.
No, I mean, you ain't gonna be able to tell him that. I mean, he's gonna think that anyway, and he should. But I just
beat him. And you know what's funny too is, but Craig's performance against Eduardo or Edward or whatever the fuck, and then all of a sudden, immediately in my brain, I'm thinking to myself, man, you know what? Craig's the dude. I say he's the dude in the 176s, but it's really, that's only if that would have to be something huge to get him to make that sacrifice. And then when he makes that sacrifice, he's not the same guy. Like when you lose that weight, you're not the same guy. So I think that as much as I believe you're too big for the 176ers, you could be too much for the guys that lose all that weight and try to get to 176. So it's interesting because there's no doubt, you could arm wrestle Artem tomorrow, but if Artem has to lose 14 pounds, you got to see what that's like and what kind of human being you are. Todd Hudson seems to lose weight, but not get weaker. Chad Silvers was good at losing weight and staying strong. On the other hand, if I lost weight, I wasn't a man anymore. I used to go down there, I'd get to 198. Fuck, Mike Solaris felt like fucking Boboda. Crazy.
Yeah, Daniel was. He's so joint driven, man, and in that match, and look, it's part of the game getting what you want in the setup. But that dude was so carved underneath me that getting outside wasn't even an option in the straps. That's the reason why match 2, I should never agreed to go to the straps to begin with. But he would have got there anyway. He's like Devin professional at getting to the straps if he wants to. But the second match,
the rules are set up for that match to go to the strap. Yeah.
Right.
So,
and then
that's a tough gig. Yeah. I believe 10 years ago, if you were dominant with the rules, you could keep a person out of the strap. I watched Chad Silvers do it a bunch of times, but it's almost impossible. So go ahead. You're going to pull in the straps. Yeah.
Yeah. Second match, I felt like I had the stronger hand, the more dominant hand, especially up top. And I made him bail. He's like trying to get out. And third match, I'm going to be honest with you, I was just kind of like, fuck it. Like my elbow was killing me from that first match because I was literally I was out inside my shoulder, on my elbow, and he was going through my elbow. So I actually had to like kind of rotate just to get off my elbow because it was hurting so damn bad and put him on my bicep. And there was no way to hold him up there. But the dude has so much static pressure. Like we talked after, and he puts on that stone cold face and smiles, whether he's struggling or not. And he even told me via translator that first match he couldn't just drive sideways. We were stuck, but he looks at me like that to make me think he's not struggling. And then, but he said match 2 and 3, I didn't feel anything. So at least he was honest. But the dude is unreal. I think he can. He's got a pin on David. He top rolled David when they pulled. I think at his weight, this was the heaviest he's been. People don't realize he was only 81.5. He was 81.5 kgs for that, and I was 83.5. Everybody keeps saying I was 15 pounds heavier because of those fake weights they put up on the screen, but I was 83.5 and he was 81.5. And that was the biggest he's been. I faced the biggest, strongest Daniel that has been out there, and he told me that it was the biggest and strongest he's been.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympic comes to town, and Daniel's going to be down to 165s and even the 154s. Mm-hmm. So he's amazing, and to me, showed me he's the best 176 guy in the United States as well. And listen, I would be very surprised if Craig could beat him, even if Craig was 200 pounds. Like, it's on if you arm wrestle that human being from what I saw the other day. I mean, I was very surprised.
There's a lot to that shit, man. And I mean, like, mentally I was there because I drank 4 Red Bulls prior to my match, but physically, man, 8 hours of sleep in 5 days and, exhausted from all the stuff that we got to do while we're there. And then trying to find a way to focus on the match. Not saying it would have made any difference, but that shit ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. I agree with you. Something I heard you say on one of y'all's episodes a while back. If it was you showed up the day before, and I agree with that because your body don't have time to like adjust and readjust and all the back and forth. You really just show up and you're only.
Yeah. Here's what I know. If I show up late and I'm not successful, I'm home the next day. If I show up late and I'm successful, I'm a fucking pimp for leaving the next day. But if I show up there a week earlier and I convince myself that I am completely fucking uncomfortable for that many days, it makes my brain think that the whole trip is not successful. Right? So I have done both. I have went over there the week before and the day before, and regardless of the outcome, the quicker the trip, the better for me. It's just the way it is. So I you know, every time I see someone over there and they're there on Monday, I'm like, ooh, this has the makings of just not having a lot of fun, which makes the days long and the nights even longer. And then it's not like you can dive into the TV. There's two channels that they're going to speak English, and it's QVC is one of them. Like, you find, thank God for the phone situation, but you know, I agree with you. Now I've also been places where I'm like, man, I should have stayed an extra day. But I find it's a lot easier to change your ticket an extra day than it is to get over there 4 days early. And, you know.
Hey, you see all these fools talking about like, oh, the West got their ass kicked, this, and this. Yeah, I get it, but they assembled the goddamn dream team for this fucking last one, right? So my thing is, it's USA or North America versus every fucking country out there. Like, we're going against the best guy from every damn country. You put us up against anybody but Georgia or Kazakhstan, I think we beat that country. But maybe Russia. So
and even Georgia, let's go against Georgia, but let us pick the matches. Like, because what we need to do is that we need to take your best guy out of the equation, right? And then have our best guy against your second place guy and then go on and so forth. But I agree with the fact that if we just took on Turkey, it would be on. It's still close. But depending on how the matches are played, we could get it closer. But I also, too, like your match and Dave's match, not as close. But, you know, those other matches are right there. Like, so close to being right there.
Bacho and Adam weren't close, but
well, yeah. Well, I don't know if Bacho would have been close with anybody.
That dude's a science experiment, man, from what I heard. So this dude.
And what did he weigh? 187?
Nah, he's over 200.
Really? Okay, good. Because he needs to pull like Dave.
Chafee?
Yeah, he's
see Dave Chafee and Bacho. That's the fuck we need.
Oh wow.
I think next with Crosby and Rob with a little bit more time. He's setting up some matches that look a little. They look very competitive. I don't think, like you said though, a lot of them aren't that far off. I mean, and had I been a lot smarter, I could have made my match look a lot closer than it was too. You can do a lot of things to make a match look close. That wasn't.
Yeah,
I mean, if I don't go to the straps every match, I take it.
Yeah,
I take his hand every time.
Match was close, right? Yeah. I feel like that even Brandon O'Celtor, man, there was some spots where just a little bit more, and then of course Paul Lynn could have easily won. So, and even Cody Merritt getting beat, at least he had some purchase and went to 10 o'clock for a second. So you can live with, and here's the deal. As long as you know what's going on, there's no way to disrespect guys that are on that stage. You just can't do it. And also too, it's not safe on that stage. It is serious fucking business. Hard to get out of there without fucked up shoulders, bicep tendons, hand and wrist problems. The adrenaline, I think a lot of people are like, man, I would do this or this. It's easy to cave in there too. Like the adrenaline is crazy. Yep. So if you see it, you'll know you'll have a lot better appreciation for all the athletes. There ain't no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, them guys thinking arm wrestling JR's bar across the street from Wild Wings is something. You step on that stage, it's a whole different world. So, for me, it don't change none because I black out. I don't hear nobody giving me coach. I don't hear nobody coaching. I don't hear anybody yelling. It's quiet. It's literally, I hear nothing. And so I can still get up there and perform at my best. And that's the best I had that day. I could have, like I said, I could have made the match look a little better. Don't agree to go to the straps, take his hand every time, and then he beats me in the straps, and everybody's like, oh, well, outside the straps, he was better. Inside the straps, I could have made it look different. But, it is what it is. I mean, I'm a little mad at myself for allowing the matches to start in the positions that he was in, because going back and listening to the replay, you said it all. Everything you were saying was dead on, Travis. Like, he had real good purchase on the back of my hand. He was deep. It wasn't even just like directly carved. It was kind of underneath too. So that when I try to control his bottom, he was really focused on getting them bottom fingers around the backside of my wrist. So,
yeah. Did you see the match with Paul Lynn where Paul Lynn is complaining about Sacho carving even before Sacho even thought about carving? Right. That's the attitude, knowing what we know now, that you needed with Daniel as well. It's like a hyper alert about the setup, right? I mean, there's just such a difference between this and this. It's amazing. And do you feel, Doug, that you know how to arm wrestle? Like, if you add it all up and you understand that you are not the strongest man in the world, right? I'm telling you that, whether you fucking want to hear it or not. Right? I mean, because now we're searching through this fucking world, bringing these guys together, and in an even hook, you are not the strongest man in the world. So because of that, my brain only works one way, where if I'm not the strongest man in the world, now I must devise a plan on how to beat someone stronger than me. Do you think you possess those skills?
I know exactly what you're saying. And I have moments of that, and then I have moments of being an idiot. And against Ray, I would say I was just flat out stronger than him to begin with, but I never even gave him a chance to prove whether he was or not, because I just out arm wrestled him. I was smarter. I knew exactly which lane to go in with him. And with Daniel, I was kind of deflated after that first match, because I had this sense of, like, I really felt like my hook was, and still may be, world class. Who knows? That motherfucker's just strong. But I'm pulling through heavyweights over here, known heavyweights. In practice. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling confident. And when I go in there and he pulls through my elbow like that, I felt, I got in my feelings a little bit. So I was like, no straps, even though we had agreed to the straps, right? Like, no straps.
I like it.
Fuck
I like
straps.
the switch.
Yeah, I was like,
it's a fight, motherfucker. Ain't no fair fight. Fuck
yeah, no straps. I lied. So,
that's good shit. That's good shit.
That's why
hey, right there's a fucking, you just said everything. Doug Ehrlich has no integrity when it comes to the pre-match.
I will kick you in the nuts.
Well, it's also an answer to the question. Doug is a good arm wrestler.
I wonder if Daniel, if he felt a certain way about that.
He did. He wasn't mad about it, but we've talked a lot since too about training and stuff, but he that's why he was laughing so hard and kept on saying strap. And because I told him strap.
Oh, that's great. That's fucking great story right there.
Yeah, but I mean, and I showed why outside the straps. I felt good. I felt real comfortable outside the straps. But like he said afterwards, he was gonna get the straps whether I wanted to or not. You know, so he can get there. The dude's just better than me right now. So like I said, I'm 4 months in. I'd like another shot at this dude next year. I don't plan on stopping. I'm gonna get bigger. I'm gonna get stronger. I got a coach that I've been talking to, and I plan on getting really fucking strong over this next year. So I might not be in the 176s anymore, actually. So I got a plan, and we'll see. We'll see. I might be too big, and hands grow, my fucking eyebrows grow. I don't fucking know.
Nice. I like it. Well, that means you're going to get stem cell too. That's what I'm doing. Rob has told us that it is better than growth hormone, stem cells.
Guys, we would like to address this $5 super chat, especially with Doug's here. We can all say that. It's an interesting question. What is the side pressure capacity of a human condition? How much side pressure would you need to beat everyone in the world?
Levon?
Is there a number? Like,
I don't know how you measure. I don't really know how you measure that, because on, like, you can hook yourself up to like one of those scales and drag, but everything's different. It's all going to matter on the angle, which way you do it. Are you on your elbow? What are we talking about side pressure? Because
yeah, there's no way to probably measure it unless everybody's in the same room, but I feel like everybody's going to do it differently as well.
Well, I think first you have to find out, is the most side pressure that you can hold, what position are you in? Like if you go underneath my hand, how much side pressure does it take then for you to pin me, as opposed to me being in a hook in your side pressure? Because once we find out who can withstand the most, whether it's with the wrist core or in the hook, once we get that number, then all you gotta do is have one more pound of side pressure in those positions. And you do.
Also, if you're flat-handed, if you're both, not inside, you're both kind of flat-handed, can your hand and wrist support the amount of side pressure you've got to begin with? Because that does affect. I feel like I can press sideways a lot harder than my hand and wrist can support. So, that does play a factor. You got to have the hand and wrist to support all that shit too.
Yeah, that was, I think, like my greatest asset was my hand and wrist could support a ton of side pressure. I rarely had the amount of side pressure that would jeopardize it, right? So every once in a while, I would have an unbelievable amount of everything would click together, and I would have side pressure in my hand and wrist. Not because it was strong, because it was in the proper location that it could withstand from a leverage standpoint. As much as I wanted to hit, rarely would this thing collapse on me. Now, right at the end, sometimes I'd be like, oh, and I'd look at the person, I feel like he knew, but the crowd, it was so fast that they really didn't know. So they would tell me, man, you'd have no trouble with him. I'm thinking, dude, if you rewind that shit with Eric Warfel, I am at the end, I'm losing my fucking hand as I'm pinning the dude. But
because it ain't just your side pressure you're up. I mean, it's both that your hand and wrist has to be able to be strong enough. You're both driving sideways. So now if you're just measuring straight side pressure your own on some type of machine, that's one thing. But like in a match, they're applying side pressure, you're applying side pressure, your hand and wrist got to support that. And that is one thing you were always good at. Your hand and wrist never really went backwards. So
you know what else too I think is interesting in this whole shit is, do you need good hand positioning in order to hit? I'm telling you that a huge percentage, I don't want to act like I'm such a unicorn, but I'll bet you it's a small percentage of guys that with their hand wide open, right? Strapped to someone, that person gripping, you keep your hand open and you show me how hard you can still hit. And it usually, their brain shuts everything down if they don't have those fingers dug into something in some controlling fashion. So once I learned to arm wrestle with an open hand and not care. So now I don't care what kind of grip I get. All I know is that I'm stronger and my wrist gets protected the tighter my fist is. So I'm going to set up as far away from you as possible with my hand wide open, and I am going to bang. And then after 20, 30 starts, I'm going to make a fist, but I'm not going to care what kind of purchase, only that it makes my hand and wrist stronger. And then I'm going to bang that fist towards the pin pad, and you, as my opponent, are going to realize that I do not care that you're there. You are simply hooked on to this machine.
Something I got to get.
And if you can take out a lot of feel, because arm wrestling at its very essence has all to do with feel, because it all feels good when you got that 1/4-inch PVC pipe in your hand. But as soon as I put that 3-inch PVC pipe in your hand, your whole fucking brain is all jacked up because your fingers are wide open. I'm giving you an out. Don't worry about your fingers. Only worry about how tight that fist can be. And don't ever hold on to anything in training. Only hook that fist up to all kinds of things that are trying to get it away from your body. You do those, and I'm not saying that it will make you a better arm wrestler. It will give you a procedure and an operation on how you're going to pull someone who you think is stronger than you.
Yeah, I got to get better at that.
Yeah, let me fuck that guy. If the guy's stronger than me, let me change the connection at the last second and have no fear of hitting regardless of my hand position. Now, still might not work, Doug. Might not work. I'm just telling you that attempting to control something that's stronger than you is not the answer. You must make that stronger person try to catch you, adjust to you, or let's be even more completely honest, you must manipulate the shit out of that connection in order to have any chance. So, Doug, I hope that just changed your life, son.
Ah, man, Doug, now you're going to listen and have to recuperate everything 24 hours. Man, oh, fuck it.
Hey, I'm glad this is, it's on, hey, look, this is on recording, so I can just play it back for me.
Right. Hey, so question, don't go too deep right now, Doug. Don't go too deep. So question actually for both of you, but first for Doug. So, Doug, with your plans or whatever you got going on your thing, if there is no East versus West, right, and you have to stay in North America, who are you excited to arm wrestle, like, out of anybody? Like, lighter guys, heavier guys, I don't really care. Like, who is currently maybe you're looking at, like, I would like to pull this person?
There's nobody over here I want to arm wrestle, man. Like, I like arm wrestling them fucking Europeans, but like if I was going to arm wrestle, Jeff Hale already spanked his ass 5-0. I'd like to take that #1 spot. I don't want to arm wrestle for the number 2 or 3 guy. I've already asked Jeff. I've messaged him. I put a post on Instagram. That dude avoids me like the plague.
So isn't it safe to say that Chance must switch the rankings then?
So, well, hold up, before we get to that. So if there was basically nothing else to do, you will go after that #1 76 spot after Jeff or whoever the person is.
Yeah, I'll take that. I also challenged Dustin Hyatt. I've tried to get that match a couple times. I actually told his dad and him in a private message I'd come to his backyard and arm wrestle him for $5,000, and he can pick the ref. And
where are you ranked on this list, Doug?
Well,
I ain't on the rankings. I haven't pulled in the years.
See, Doug is so professional, in my opinion, to where he's in this cool spot to where he's just like, he's an active arm wrestler who's badass, but not in this ranking ecosystem people got good.
So Doug has told Chance that you don't want to be involved.
I haven't pulled anybody over here to get on the rankings if I wanted to, because beating a European, that beat somebody over here or something doesn't get you on there.
Oh.
You got to beat somebody here. You got to beat somebody here. So if I only pull over there, then I'll never get on the rankings here. But like I said, if I'm going to arm wrestle somebody, it ain't going to be for anything but the number one spot. Somebody beat Jeff, I'll pull them. But I want to pull Jeff.
But Jeff Hell, does anyone know anything about what Jeff Hell's up to these days?
Jeff just competed at Sit Down Nationals in Virginia not long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like that match just because we pulled, 5 years ago now, 7 years ago. And, he was
I feel like
complaining
you're
about my weight.
bigger than him. I feel like you're way bigger than him.
I'm way bigger than everybody in my weight class.
Yeah,
but,
like he's a 165er. He's a 165er.
Then he needs to get off the 176 list.
There's no 165 ranking either, right? Is that what I'm getting ready to tell me?
There's a 154 under that, yeah.
Right, which he's too light. I got you. So everybody is 11 pounds heavier than they should be on the damn rankings. That's just no doubt about it. And if I was Chance, I would only go top 5, but I would include all the weight classes. Fuck, ain't no reason. Nobody wants to. Nobody even wants to.
I will go top 5 and everything under just non-specific order. Just 15 good dudes.
So Michael Todd, the only reason I want to pull Dustin Hyatt now is because he's got Michael Todd's lightweight title, and I already told him I'll come to 170 because that class is 170.
Now you pushing it. I
can make 170 tomorrow and go take that shield and helmet and sword or whatever the fuck you get at his thing. I'll go take that shit from Dustin right now.
What has he got? 170, then what? 187, or how does it go?
No, he's got 170 and then
200.
200 and then.
And Brandon will sell towards the 200 guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, there's the armed fighter rankings that they have 172 class. The first guy there is Luke Kent.
Yeah, I like Luke. Kent dug Ehrlich too. I like that. But Luke's my guy, though. I think that too, that could be the match that we could actually get to the $2,000. But look, I don't think, but he's number 2, right? Not number 1.
Luke is number 1.
On that, but on chances, he's number 2, right?
On chances, he is. That was a couple names down, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
He's number 2 there. Dustin Hyatt number 2.
Okay, yeah. So that's the match I think that if you're looking for a match that you can make $2,000 on, that's the one. In my opinion.
June 3rd in Virginia.
I like that. I don't think he's quite ready because I just saw a post where it said he was going to start getting ready. But to me, that's the match that really could happen, I think. I mean, that's the one that I feel like that I could probably get Luke to do that. I think that's good for him too. He's a bit of the underdog, I think, going in there from the size standpoint, but he probably doesn't feel that way. He probably thinks he got enough juice.
There is a 1,000% fact that goes to the straps, and in the straps, he don't want to be tied to me. So that is going to be a
big you tied to Daniel, you'd be surprised how many people are looking forward to fucking with you nowadays.
I promise you, they don't know. They don't know what Daniel is. So anybody who wants to use that as a gauge, you know what? Please use that as a gauge.
Well, the gauge is going to be you'll find out June 24th. Those of us that know arm wrestling are going to find out if Coach Ray is hopefully better than we kind of left that in Istanbul. So what we doing? We got to be close, right? Maybe close to getting off of here. My God,
pretty close. But I do have the same question for you, Travis. If there's no East versus West, we in America, who you wanna meet in 4 months?
I have to pull.
Yeah, are you pulling
Corey West left-handed and Jerry Carteret right-handed? I guess would be my match.
I mean, are we ever going to see you pull again? I mean, or is this just fucking?
I just told Artem that the sponsors are kicking in, and I think I'm just going to run this arm wrestling series where I'm the one that's arm wrestling every week for 18 weeks somewhere.
Yeah, so I
in the
as
United
usually
States.
didn't believe anything he said, but however, he does have a talent of getting in the perfect shape of regular people. So old Travis needed a consistency every Saturday. So I'm gonna go. I'll believe that plan there for a second until I
That's
see
a
it. Really
good plan. That's a good plan.
Yeah,
And it
because
ends
you're the
up,
type guy that
where's Corey at? He's in Arkansas. So
number
whenever we
one,
play,
number one guy left-handed. He's number one guy.
Don't you gotta beat Brandon first before you go beat one of them?
Oh,
you know what? I don't know if Brandon would take that match again, but he would definitely be a fun one to bring to Chicago and, put him in, one of those jerseys. But I think with me, I'm going to always do the approach that I feel like should be implemented at every super match.
hey, when is the first day?
Like this whole Dave Chafee Devin thing, in my opinion, there needs to be two other guys standing there, right? So when Devin's done, he either arm wrestles, just give me a name of a real good Sasho. He either arm wrestles Sasho afterwards, or he takes on, Rivas or Ravens. You know what I mean? But they're both standing there because there's a chance Dave doesn't put up the fight from a cardiovascular situation, and that we need another match after that.
Rivas might be the next dude to take on Levon.
I think he's the guy. I think he's and also too, not only is he the guy, but I think that the teams have kind of helped those guys keep training, knowing that they just don't have to face, because it's, it used to be if you can't beat the guy in your backyard, you don't get to travel. But them having that little 3-man squad is pretty impressive. But I'm with you. I think what Rivas did with Dave Early was super impressive.
Agent of Chaos with $199 super chat. Corey Miller versus Doug Ehrlich.
Yeah, who is Corey? But hasn't Corey lost to someone?
Corey's right. Yeah, his right is injured right now. He ain't pulling.
Corey just made a Facebook post that he's like maybe back to training the right hand.
Yeah, he lost.
We'll do that one too. June 3rd, Corey Miller, bring you $2,000. I'll have it all set up. Doug Ehrlich and you, June 3rd, John Brzezinko ref. Perfect.
Travis is putting up my 2,000, right?
Of course, we got you, man.
Travis Bagent Unfiltered, baby. Yeah. Come on, we got.
We don't even fuck with Corey. We don't even fuck with Corey Miller on this station, so we got you.
Travis,
bring AJ Henson too. Artem will whack him. No, I like AJ. AJ's a good dude. I like Corey too. Corey has a reason not to like me, but I like Corey.
Look, I'm dead ass trying to come up there that June 3rd weekend. So
I was hoping that Ingen told you you'll never get another match unless you qualified. So I wanted you to come up and pull.
No, I think he'll bring me back, man. But it'll be. He never told me I'd had to qualify again. So
right,
and we talked about it.
I was trying to get Rob, you, because I think it'd be cool to see you and Giannis. But I guess not.
I wanted to pull. I asked for that match because it's a little storyline. There's a good storyline because his big brother trying to revenge Ray's loss.
100%. It's like he's on the whole Devin Matt Mass thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, there's. We'll see what happens with Giannis and Mendogas. Mendogas will probably win that. So and then I do feel like I need a match over here.
So is that happening? Is Giannis going to pull Mendogas?
Yeah, Giannis and Mendogas are pulling.
Oh, man, that's good because I tell you, I only saw Mendogas lose to the Kazakhstan guy on the hook, so I didn't really think he was that good. And then to see what he did the other day, I was like, damn. So then it made me think Justin Bishop's pretty good too.
Yeah, Justin's pulling that Tom's dude from Latvia that won the Westfall.
Yeah, huge. That dude's huge.
Yeah, he's good. And then Sandras versus Pablo. I like that one too.
Sandras and Pablo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. I like it.
What do you mean it's
That's
all
like
right?
the JV. That's like the JV squad going at it. JV.
I like it though because that could be that's a big win for Pablo if he can get it. So, but I'll root for that.
You
He's
got
kind
to
of a
know
West
that.
Side.
I mean, I'm only pulling Levon and Corey Miller and people like that. So, it's hard for me to even think about the JV guys. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm trying. Look, if you come back, it'll be big. I mean, I just don't. You can't come back.
Oh my God!
You
What
can't
if
come
I
back
came back
just for
and
money.
What if I whack Levon? Or I came back and whack Levon.
That shit would be crazy.
That would be the first time. That'd be the first time that the Americans were rooting for Levon. That'd be the first time.
No. Hey.
And it's not, even though they're like, man, I'd like to see Levon lose, but we can't let this shit talking motherfucker be the champ. Oh my
It would be
God.
like John Daly winning the fucking, I don't know.
Woo! John Daly's like Tiger Woods, motherfucker.
No.
It would be
Tiger
nice
Woods,
to see you back
if
up there,
John
Tiger Woods coming back.
No, that jumps ain't coming back and beating LeBron. You like John Daly coming back and all of a sudden beating everybody. Like, yo, who left him on the golf course?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up comparison right there.
Come on, man. Hold on, Chad. Let me know if this guy Tiger Woods or John Daly. Both of them kind of a ghost.
I'm Phil Nicholson.
My knowledge of sport doesn't go that deep.
I'm Jack Nicholson, motherfucker. Jack Nicholson.
For real though, we gotta stop all this. Every episode is like, when are you coming back? Are you gonna do it? You just gotta.
I'm coming back. I'm planning my first events. I think I'm pulling actually in the last chance qualifier on June 3rd.
Hold on. Well, we'll put you through that depending how you feel, because I feel like you've been lying to me about your practicing. But when is first game that you're gonna attend to of Tyson's?
The first 3 preseason games have just popped off. I got to look at the schedule. I think it's the end of August.
I'll tell you what, because I'll be there with the camera.
We're all going to be there, man. Hopefully, you and Robert Kelly are traveling the world.
Okay.
We either listen, if it's a Sunday night game, we have the tournament during the day. If it's a Sunday day game, we have the tournament Sunday night. We're always either right before the game or right after.
All right, love it. I love it. It sounds like we're gonna.
And then eventually, by next year, the winner will do it all the time before the games, and then the winners will go to the games with me.
Hey, winner! It's almost like getting that card. Hey, people cannot find. I don't know how and why. People like, hey, where do we buy the cards? You can still get the cards.
Come on, man. Pullingfortherams.com.
You can always get the card there. What
Put
about
the link? Why ain't you got the link up? Why ain't you doing graphics and
links
shit? I thought you said we had employees.
What about the acrylic thing? That's always you can buy and sign thing too, right?
I've got it right here, bro.
So people are just crazy. They want to search shit, right? Because the link's up there.
Oh, there's a chance that you can't buy one of these sign things. Because you know how I'm a little bit. There's probably a couple more steps I need to do to fill out the sign stuff.
You better check it out. But yeah,
I'm wondering how this even got here unless it's signed, sending it to us as like, here you go. I know Tyson's is legit, but I ain't never done because you got to do a voicemail.
Right.
To the person. So, yeah, hold off on that. Hold off on that.
Pullingfortherams.com, guys.
Come on, man. Get your card. I got like 13 left.
At this point, I need the promo code, like Top Roll King, so I can get a 10%.
Yeah, whatever. Give them 100% off. I don't care. As long as they paid $125, give them whatever else off. Promise them the world. Promise. Hey, lifetime subscription to this show for free if you buy a card.
DJ USA said, if you can beat Artem, I will buy one. Oh, man, that's...
No worries. You'll be live June 2nd. Boom.
I don't know.
Boom.
That's too soon for you. That's exactly the timeline where I can beat you.
I'm on this stem cell shit, man. The fuck you talking about?
That's June 4th.
I got Hey, the guy messed up and the one stem cell thing said Sestanon. So, hey, stem cell.
Did you already start stem cells, or you just talking shit?
Oh, all over these motherfuckers,
You're
boy.
just talking shit.
I got D-ball stem cell. I got anadrol stem cell. I got all of it.
No, we're trying to get Travis to get down to VitaCell Biologic headquarters on June 4th so we can get something done and see him back in the whole army.
Yeah, or maybe June 10th. I might be going to the shrimp boil or whatever Big E got going on over there.
Oh boy. Because everybody who questioned the stem cells, and I'm like, well, look at Devin's last match. Because he went inside in that weird position he always been known for, that he have not been in past 5 to 6 years because of the elbow. And I'm like, yo, that's stem cells. He's like, yeah. And I'm like,
yeah, he lost.
Who
wants to do stem cells now?
Wait, you still get in the position. You get
all the Americans were on stem cells. Look what happened to them. God damn it! Get off the stem cell. Get the juice. Get on the juice.
Man. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, Travis is of the show. Speaking of, out of 225 votes, Artem versus Travis makes sense. 67% of people still voting yes. So that's over 100 people going, I'm going to smash you, Travis.
Come on, man. And there's one thing I don't lose to Russians.
Pulling John says otherwise. The first
Russians. He said he was born in the Ukraine.
Oh man. All right. Well, Travis, it's been on for 2 hours. Do you have a message for the people?
Yes. I will see you tomorrow morning, and we'll start upgrading our guests. It won't just be slappies like Lance and Doug for the rest of the time. We're gonna go big time.
Yes, I will never come back. Never.
Hey, June 3rd. I'll expect to see you June 3rd. Come hang out.
I want a match.
Well, we got to get you a match, man. My God, I don't know, man. It's very.
Oh, Luke King, Travis, that's your boy. Call Luke.
That is, I wish, but I already.
He ain't ready. I'll come in.
Luke ain't ready for that. Luke ain't ready for that smoke.
I'll come in heavy and pull somebody bigger.
I think Luke needs to be the guy that can get ready. So.
I'll come in heavy and pull somebody bigger. I'll pull somebody at 198, 185, somewhere.
You and Dave Morocco, it's set. Let's go. Let's go.
As long as he makes 198.
Kenny Smith, I saw him pulling Dave in the hook. That's a good match. I think he's a little heavy too.
Like 220, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Doug. Good seeing you play. Artem, you the man. Let's talk in the morning.
All right, Travis, thank you for coming. You can go ahead and live here. Doc, you can stay here because there's a question that we need to answer, people. Who wins between Taranenko and Erlich? And I will say with my honest heart that, oh man, I have too many jokes going on, but I'll say the Doc beats me. Just to keep it nice and simple. But
we will probably never pull, but I'll say it's a draw.
Well, no, I'll beat the fuck out of you left-handed, but right-handed, I'm just going to give it to you out of.
All right, I'll take right, you take left.
Yeah,
I'll take right, you take left.
I feel like right-hand, I have ways to go, but without being, what? That's what I laugh about. That's why I hate Matt Craig, because Matt is like talking this nonsense shit for the past month, messaging everybody, trying to set up matches, but declining due to like circumstances, but keeps calling me like that I'm just a lucky guy and I'm a chump and all that. And there's never a positive note. Like, it's like, what if I beat you? Like, no, you'll never beat me. You're a fucking chump. But every time I talk shit to Justin and Paul Talbot, because Justin Bishop is one of the dudes that like to go to the comment section and be like, fuck all of these dudes. I'll beat all of them.
Yeah.
Every time I call Justin, I'm like, yo, I can read those comments, right? And Justin will go ahead and say, I know, and, I will beat you. But if I don't, I'll shake your hand and you're the guy. I'm like, that's what's awesome, like to realize, like, yeah, you know what? Like, I might not beat you. Like, there's some type of respect for the work and the power that has been done. And that was something that Matt is lacking of, right? It's like, it's fair for me to say, like,
Yeah, I mean,
you'll beat the fuck out of me right
I
here.
don't know.
And I can recognize that, and that's something I can work for.
And I mean, I don't know the dude like that. I think I'm friends with him on Facebook or something. I see his stuff sometimes, but like, yeah, I mean, for you to say you're lucky, you travel and fool everybody, man. You compete more than just about anybody I know. So there ain't no luck involved in that. It's you're putting yourself out there, and that's one of the things that a lot of these folks don't do is put themselves out there. I did that for years, man. I just don't have the time, energy, and I ain't trying to spend the money to go pull anybody without at least the opportunity of breaking even on my whole trip. Like I gotta my hotel, I gotta at least have the opportunity to put up the money or someone put up the money to. I'm not traveling around for free to go fool nobody. So I mean, there's got to be enough money for first place or a super match with enough money to cover cost of everything at least.
Right. There's something funny about arm wrestling in that way, because like I like the spot that you're in, like what I said earlier. You're like that, like what we can say professional like arm wrestling thing, to where like you in that own route that doesn't apply to like certain ecosystem, right? You got going on. But that's what's a little bit sad about arm wrestling. Once you're in that like top tier stuff, arm wrestling hasn't developed up there yet, to where you kind of just get stuck like getting shit talk from people. And like fuck, I was going there some of like there was another example there, but yeah, like once like Travis and Jerry, actually Jerry, like we just made the clip about Jerry like being number one guy and all that. And Jerry's an interesting example of actually the guy who there was a comment about that I read about. It's Jerry is actually very interesting to me now that he's actually very financially off. Like, and he's not like, I mean, I guess to somebody he will wealthy, but he is set. Like, he takes care of his family. He's financially, he works for it. Like, I mean, he's a busy guy, but he's there, right? You know what I mean? He's good, and he doesn't complain on the internet that much, like about after matches and all that shit. He just goes after big dudes and like bids them, you know what I mean? Oh, he goes after them. And that's an interesting spot. And that's kind of like you have to realize motivation behind that. Cause like once you like kind of there and you're already high level arm wrestler, and God forbid you set financially outside of arm wrestling, that arm wrestling is not as fun anymore, right? Like you kind of need to find a guy you want to beat and respect. Or if there's not the guy, you kind of want to break even. As you said, you kind of want some type of recognition for the shit that you've done. So yeah,
Man,
it's a weird
I
spot.
put in the years. I put in the years of like traveling and grinding. Man, I've been doing this for 13 years now. So like I feel like I just don't have the interest enough in going to a local tournament to make me even want to train for it. It's got to be so. I'm getting old, man. I mean, I'll be 39 years old this year, and I got young kids that suck the energy out of me, and that's gonna come first. And I it's a hobby. This is a hobby that I try to stay competitive at, to compete at the highest level, because if I'm not competing at the highest level, I don't want to do it. I've been like that in every sport that I've done, everything that I've done. If I can't do it at the highest level, and there's not at least a potential to me compete for at the highest level, I don't even want to do it. And in the beginning, the climb to try and get to that point, and now that I'm kind of in a spot where it's hard to get matches. It's really hard to get matches here, because now I could get as many matches as I want for free, because these guys don't have to put up no money. They're like, oh, it's a win-win situation. If I lose to him, whatever, I just lost to Doug. If I beat him, I level up. I got to have some money on the line. I don't want to go pull all these dudes for free. I have nothing to prove. There's nobody in the United States that ups my level if I beat them right now at my weight, in my weight class. Now, if I go beat like a Craig or a fucking Paul Lynn or a fucking, guys heavier than me, much heavier than me. I mean, but in my weight class, there's really nobody I can beat that's going to level up. It's all those guys leveling up off me. And so I want some money on the line. I've had a lot of offers inbox from some guys that I know I would smoke. And then when I bring up money, they're like, oh, well, no, I just wanted to pull for free. I'm like, well, fucking course you want to just pull for free. Like, I'm not trying to, I'm not driving to fucking Oklahoma to go fucking pull somebody for free. Like, what do I look like taking $500 in hotel fees and a flight and spending $1,000 to $1,500 on a trip that I'm taking food out of my kid's mouth? You know what I'm saying? Shit I could spend on them just to go arm wrestle somebody for nothing. I ain't trying to go pull for free. I need money.
Right. That's
Money.
yeah. People talk trash about that, but that's just unfortunately arm wrestling is not that developed to where like that's all right. Once you're at a certain spot and you have, well, it's so personal.
Artem, I'm not trying to be diva with that either. Anybody who's mistaken what I'm saying,
Right.
I'm not trying to be diva with that. I don't need a promoter to put up the money. I'll put my own fucking money up. I just want to win at least the cost of my trip.
Well, that's you know what that part always to me came down to communication. Like I will always like have this clear head moment to where nobody should ever message me and send a match to me unless I'm asking for $1,500 or less, right? That's my like cold-hearted approach, like in my heart. Like I need to have a number at this point. But I never say that. At this point, like if somebody I know that takes care of me and he just messaged me nice enough message, hey man, can you come pull this and this person? I love this guy, I love the message, I love this person. Sure, just cover my plate and whatever. But if somebody comes up to me, hey man, why don't you arm wrestle me next Saturday? Well, go fuck yourself. Who are you? Like, at this point, like, no. You can get, if you think I'm somebody, you can get me for any amount of free money you want to, just if you send me a normal message, right? There's some type of mutual respect and recognition for the time put in. If it's just one of those, like, no.
I've talked to some newer guys that I train and stuff like that. They're like, I want to pull so and so and on the Florida rankings list, and I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, dude, you got to go win a tournament first. You got to go if you're going to challenge one of these dudes, be prepared to put up money because they're putting all their risk up. You know, they've been grinding for years to get a name, and then you want to pop up and just go skip the line, you know, and you may be able to beat the guy, but it's all risk, no reward if you ain't trying to put up the money. There's got to be some sort of incentive. If it's not like a level up on the ranking, which I don't give a fuck about the rankings, which is why I only really want to pull the number one guy, unless it's Dustin Hyatt. I will pull him right now in his backyard for $5,000. But and he can pick his dad can ref the match. But other than that, you know, I told Michael Todd I'll come up there. I'll make 170. I'll pull the dude. That's because what Michael Todd's got going on, in my opinion, is the coolest thing over here in the States right now. So
Michael definitely, like, I think there's some people slipping in that. I was slipping in that, but like Michael's approach is definitely something futuristic. Like people asking for East versus West in America, like that's it. Like doesn't look at it right now, but like Michael doesn't even need his like expensive expansion that he's working on. He just needs some like light changes and stuff and keep being consistent. Like he is on there. Like it's definitely gonna look killer like as times go.
He's definitely on the right track, man. I mean, he's got fire ass matches. He's got I think he's got the right idea of doing some preliminary matches Friday and then the main card Saturday. I think the main card should be at least a $5 pay-per-view. I wish there would be more people that would support the event if they did it, because that's just extra money to cover costs.
I believe the no pay-per-view idea is actually not that bad, especially considering like once you get to know all the numbers that can be made, the pay-per-view numbers are not that great. So if he gets, you don't need even to get that much money from a sponsor, I believe, to match the pay-per-view money from like all the numbers that I know. It's almost like you want to go heavy and all the like stuff that Engin does, like flyers, signatures, posters, and talking to arm wrestling fans. That's a proper thing because like talking to those people who has the money and stuff, they like that's what they want. You can't sell them a handle or a program, but memorabilia signature, yeah.
every little bit matters. And like, I wish there was a way on his live stream to like, maybe you get to unlock the video if you do $1 super chat. You know what I mean? Like you can read the chat, but you get to unlock the video if you do $1 super chat or something. Cause he had like 2,500 people watching at one point. I mean, $2,500, and when you're throwing an event like that and you're having to get sponsors to put up money, that's $2,500 is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
you're
always
covering a couple.
Yeah, that's couple travels, or that's a bonus money match. Yeah, in that when you're paying out the way Michael pays out, yeah, that money can cover a couple of little interesting things because Michael giving bonuses for match of the day, which are like a good amount of money. Like, yeah, Michael takes care of everybody.
Yeah, that's something that I would definitely be interested in doing. I've already reached out to him. We've chatted a little bit, but nothing solid. Other than that, man, like I said, I'm just looking for matches. I could care less about tournaments. I might hit one. If East versus West wasn't on the same day as that Tallahassee tournament, I probably would have went because it's only 2 hours from me. No, every tournament is a flight away from me. Every single one.
You are in a funny spot. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm in one of the most fucking U.S. arm wrestling because everything is a flight for me.
Right, and
so even to practice.
Yeah, like me and you in the same state and we in the same line, and what is it, like 4 hours? Something?
5.
Was it 5? Man, that was a good drive. I almost didn't feel like it.
Hell yeah. I remember you texted me and was like, dude, when you already said you would come, you were like, I didn't realize it was fucking 5 hours away. And I'm glad you still came, but man, damn, it's like it
was doable to where, like, if you'll make another one, like, I'll probably huff and puff about the time, but I'll make it because it didn't have felt. I think it was a good time. I think, I mean, I didn't have felt like fucking drenching myself. So
I'd like to do one this summer because people love to come here in the summer, and if I could set something up where like there's some people coming to do a vacation here.
You have an interesting hub of vacationing. A lot of people go to this, and they always have like a timeshare or something like that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it can be done.
I mean, hell, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could probably host like, I mean, at least 6 or 7 people to crash for at least one night. You know what I mean? So
don't say that. You know how it is. Then all of a sudden it's
but it's a select few. It's a select few. It ain't go. I mean, most people are gonna get a no, but you, Justin, Craig, Paul, everybody, the group that came last time, those guys are good to go.
Yeah, right. It's awesome. All right. Yeah. I'm down for another one. So, well, all righty, dog. Unless you have a message for Dustin Hyatt or anything else you want to reach out to people, say something to some haters, we're going to wrap it up.
Man, I had a little bit of, I look through the comments every now and then on the video and stuff, and people talk shit. I love how arm wrestling has become this thing where all these trolls are out there talking shit, and they ain't never gotten to that level to where they can even get invited to a stage like that. And then they want to knock you when you get up there and lose. But every single one of them can kiss my white ass because I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you that. I got up there and I did what I could do in 4 months. And next year, I want to match with that dude again. And I already talked to Daniel in private, and I told him I will fly myself to Moldova next year when I feel like I'm ready, and I will pull him in Moldova. So expect that match to happen in 2024 when he has something. It'll be at some event in Moldova. They put on a lot of events there, and I will fly myself over there next year when I'm ready. And I think what I felt was not unattainable. That's what I was.
Yeah.
So I will readdress that match eventually, and we'll see. But that's all I got to say. So.
All right, yeah, that's a good message. Another thing I forgot to mention where we're talking about like where you want to pool. I think we can agree it's my boring subject I was bringing up. If there was a cool tournament here, that also could always be like something to look forward to. That's a thing we don't have because we always
the way WAL tournaments used to be. I would go to a WAL tournament.
Yeah,
if they
like
came
if
back up.
it's something like it's all like something that's confirmed, because there have been some events like this throughout the year that came up to be like so, like Kansas City tournament, be like everybody's in it. That it just happens organically, right? And now it's hard to because there's so many of them. If and they now we're back to having 15 stupid nationals, right? So now we can't even have like a solid nationals group of people. So that's another thing. I feel like if we also had like another like June 3rd type thing, but again for like more open for everybody, not the qualifier. That's another thing people will maybe look forward to. I really want to go to the tournament, right? I think
I
that
feel like
I have that.
I'm just not the biggest fan of tournaments, but just
If
because
there's
of
money in
the
it, I think, don't you think?
if it was good money, 100%. But the only reason I'm not the biggest fan of them is because of some people's easy routes that they've taken to the finals, and somebody goes through 4 or 5 grinders and gets the tough bracket, and
Yeah,
it changes the outcome so much.
yeah, it's a round robin perspective. Yeah, it really works out for that guy that came in to kill everybody, and it just worked out for him. And unless you're not that guy, yeah, the bracket means a lot.
Yeah, like that 154 round robin the other day. I feel like Roman got a really tough route compared to everybody else. I feel like he had to pull all the good guys before the other
I
guys had
guess,
to
I
pull the
guess, I feel like everything was almost equal because looking at the wars, but I guess, yeah, Roman did have some wars. I guess you're not seeing any real grinders, and he ended up taking like second, I think, right?
Yeah, he went. Yeah, I think he went
It's
one
not,
and one with
yeah,
that.
it's not, yeah, it's not that bad, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. So, yeah, unless you like the guy that like just Tony Kataski, right? If you're coming in there bigger and stronger than everybody, then it's all good. Then the bracket.
That's a match. That's a match I would love to have back if he ever came back one day, man. I pulled so stupid. I pulled probably dumber than I did against Daniel in that match. So maybe one day if he ever decides to, but I think he's done. But
Okay. So you do have some names that you have to go back to.
I mean, that's a personal thing for me, like wanting to redeem a loss.
When
I mean,
did
it's
you
like
guys pull?
I was back in 19.
Did I miss it? Like, what was it?
Oh, that was on WAL. It was on FS1. Fucking all the national. Fucking, it was on national television. Everybody, millions of people got to see me lose. So I pulled like an idiot the first match, but either way, that's a match I'd like to have back. He beat me. I'd like to have the Daniel match back.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember this. Yeah. Okay.
Losses if I can. Those are the only ones that really I want. And then next is guys that I'm not the biggest fans of. I'd like to beat them, just out of personal reasons. But right now, I have nobody here that I'd get up to pool. Like that. Gets me motivated to want to train to go pool. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old, man. I mean, don't give a fuck as much as I used to.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, like
I mean,
you kind of wanna,
it's hard to stay motivated.
Yeah, you want to stay settled almost. You kind of want to.
Yeah, my motivation right now is really wanting to get back to East versus West, and whatever route that may end up being. In June 24th could line up for something good for me. If Ray wins, it does like make my win look better. But if Ingen wins, maybe I'm the next guy. But I mean, Ingen's a friend of mine on top of what the opportunities he's given me. So, and I don't like arm wrestling my friends. But if he wanted a West, I've told you that before.
Yeah.
But if I was a stepping stone and he wanted a guy from the West to pull next instead of another East guy, I would be that guy, I would think. So, I mean, who else? I mean, I'm in the weight range and I beat the guy that he beat. So,
yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I like it. Well, all right, player. I guess we can wrap it up. Thank you for coming in a little later than we agreed on, and with the time problem. But I think it's awesome for you to be here and for the people to hear from you. And we'll see you. We'll see. Oh, God damn, you're huge. All right, calm down now. I thought you a little smaller in the frame. Now I have to put my sleeves down. I have to put my
182 pounds of nothing but steel.
twisted steel and sex appeal. I got you, dog.
Hey, look, I want to be strong, but I also want to look good, though, man.
I got you. I got you. You out there living life in Dusty, Florida.
I'm old. I'm single now. I'm single, man. I still gotta think about the other part of my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But anyway, homie, I appreciate you having me on. We'll link up soon. Well, I mean, we talk enough anyway, so.
Yes, sir. I'll see you sometime soon then. Thank you for coming.
All right, brother.
All right, player. All right, there's a super chat from Big Grove Goats. Also, you guys think Bowen is burning all his bridges? You know what? As the guy who had bridges burned like before my bridges were even built, like I'm the guy who got banned by Engen without even ever talking to Engen, right? So that was like unjusticeful, right? Then me and Igor always butt heads, but Igor, like, I was working for it, right? Like, I never wanna like Igor always wanted to be like the guy. If you're his friend, then you need to like behave as such, and you can say no and stuff. So I was butt heads with him, so that got me like in different amount of stopped opportunities and such, right? Like a lot of things happen because of that. So um yes, Bowen is burning bridges. However, those bridges they can burn on weird subjects to where it's all egotistical thing by the end of the day and misunderstanding. And I think it's not the end, neither for him or for Engen, right? Like it's clearly that well, I guess it's not fair to say clearly, but I value Ryan's position. Whenever you're the guy that's work, because arm wrestling not that big, arm wrestling fucking small. So having this little fights, it's silly in the first place. So whenever I see somebody like Bowen and myself, maybe going against the current, maybe for him, not in the most proper way, and he is not the cleanest guy out there, like with a perfect record of morale, but I always like resistance, I guess, in degree, and I'm not supporting Ryan and everything as he is doing. Like I've talked to Devin, I've talked to Engen, I've talked to him. Like I try to get to the bottom, middle, and get it all connected. Couldn't do it, but they all have their own truth, and the subject is fun anyway. But um, burning bridges, yes. Is that too scary? Not at all. Not at all. Like I've been there, especially right now. Especially right now when Ryan is already where he's at. You can't burn the bridge. Like Ryan, if Ryan just continues, he's already undeniable in his own way, right? Like he made his way into matches, he's made his way into his channel, he has following, he can do whatever he wants to do. There will be some doors he can shut right now, but it's all for the time being. I feel like if you want to prevail, you will prevail, and the time shows that. I mean, if you're a good person, top of that. So yeah, it's some close opportunities, but at the end of the day, I think if your message is correct and becoming undeniable, will fix everything. Pops Newman, if I had known you will be at practice last week, I will have come to see you, and my kid maybe. You will be at practice last week. Was it practice? I was at practice. I wasn't at practice last week. I was at practice week before. I mean, if you're being technical, because it's Monday now, pops. Yeah. Sorry, I said day before that I will be there, so you're not checking the chat, pops. But yeah, I'll let you know personally. So yeah, that's so. Actually, speaking of bridges, so it's um Yeah, bridges are shoddy to begin with. So speaking of bridges, and one subject that I've seen in comment before I let myself go here, people have mentioned interesting point that I'm going to bring it out in the podcast, but there's somebody said about Travis. It's bad that Travis bad mouthing the king of the table card, or saying that it's boring because Travis is a face of arm wrestling, and with his stature and the name, he should be saying good things, and that's a terrible perspective. That's like Igor Mazarenko all over the place. But what I would like to say, it like on top of that, I think it's actually awesome that we are finally in a room in a space. Well, we're not there, but we are allowing us to be there. We are allowing us to be in a room where somebody that is perceived to have the stature and like name in the sport, like Travis Bagent himself, can say things that he actually thinks about anything, right? And we can voice it out and we can put it out there, right? And then it's for you guys to discuss it, whether you agree with us or not. Maybe it was pretty for the world or not, but I think it's awesome that we're finally here. Back in the days when Igor had the whole control, God forbid you say something bad about the fucking thing. Everybody have to be so fake. Every event is great. Everything is awesome. Sport is growing. Matches are awesome. Like, no, we finally somewhere where we can say stuff. And actually, not even there. As I said, like, people still like our main leaders of the sport still try to prevent all the content happening, and a lot of shit is petty stuff still happening. But I enjoy that. I don't know if we in the spot. I enjoy maybe Travis himself. I don't think Travis even have an idea or care, but I like it. We finally we're there where a top level person can actually say something that's not politically correct, but it is honest, and we can say that, and like nobody can shut this down, right? Tra- Travis might not get like a commentary gig, but it's a loss for the gig, not for Travis, because everybody want to see him there. So, I'm glad that the platforms are building, sport is growing, and YouTube's and all that being part of that. So, and before I wrap it up, that's the situation. That's what I want to address. I like that we in a we're in a spot where I can give, or anybody else can have a platform to be honest. And we don't have to say that every event is great. We love to be there for 12 to 16 hours, and we love watching. I don't know. You put a joke in there. Two things, guys. Before I want to wrap it up, thank you for everybody for being here and saying in super chats. As I said before, Spotify, but I want to be more clear in that and detail. Please check out us on Spotify. Put "Tell Me I'm the Greatest" in your Spotify search. You'll see a podcast popping up. Maybe try to do our names. Oh, the link is in the chat right now. And please, if you can, click on some episodes and let them play. Maybe the latest ones, whatever. It's better from. I just want to get clicks and listens, because that's where like helps Spotify to grow and insert to have certain monetization in there. So you need to have audience. So if anybody is kind of interested in listening to this organically, I would like for you guys to try and click on some. And if you're not really super interested, but you would like to help out, that's the way for you. Go click on an episode, let it watch for a day. If you're part of some business where you have your TV playing, get it on there. We will appreciate that. So that's there. So if you guys can check this out, I appreciate you. Thing number two, I have good content of Travis from Istanbul. It's not that great, but it's a lot of nice, high quality footage of Travis's Istanbul, and I believe that can be made in a nice vlog. So I just want to let everybody know that that's coming, because I know there's been good interest in that video I just done of him and Devon, of them just talking, and there's like a little bit more stuff of that nature, and just Travis being Travis in Istanbul. So I have that going. So if you've been a fan of, just nice picture of Travis Bagent, not this Zoom thing all the time that is coming, I wanted to announce that. And that's it. right? Yep. And Spotify's announced. Thank everybody for watching this. Thank you, Ryan, for not. It's mostly, well, finally we got Travis in here. And finally, it's both of us. Actually, we both can be lazy. Before this, we just I cannot be in the morning times. Now I can be in the morning time, so it's after me to like, hey Travis, let's get on it. And it's awesome. I'm super. I might not show it, like there's no emotions here, but like I'm stoked that Travis is able to do it here with us, and be here for. I'd like to get to 40 episodes so we can finally say that Travis, Travis got a full work week of podcasts. um, yes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Say yes. See us tomorrow, hopefully, and yep, I'll see you the next one. Pretty sure I said everything. Spotify, good video. Oh, and again, thank you for Ryan Rush for making our clips and helping to the channel. And if anybody else would like to help out the channel in any way possible, if I would like help on Instagrams, Facebooks, YouTubes, whatever talent that you have that you think we can grow Travis Bagent brand, let me know. Reach out to me in you know when to reach out to me. Instagrams, emails, Facebooks. You know when to find me. I am in Jacksonville. Hang the tank. Come get some. Thank you guys.